I thought you were gonna have the biggest trouble around those two trees, but it was actually back here in the open that was probably. Is this one of the more difficult spots you've been in, or do you get in worse than this?
I get worse than this. Jeez. The only thing that made it bad was sliding to the side.
Right.
Like when I have the traction control on to lock all the wheels, the truck doesn't turn. It kind of like keeps it straight, so it's very difficult to make kind of like any adjustments up there.
Gotcha. This is the new shop. It's pretty empty right now. So this is a high cube too. It's got 9'6" on the ceilings, which will be nice. And I'm really impressed with that driver, man. He did an excellent job. I fear that most guys would have seen how tight it was and the mud, and would have just been like, no, it's too tight. But he gave it a shot and he was successful. He said he's been running a land-all for like 5 years and he's only got stuck once, and it was because the terrain was uneven and he basically high centered the trailer. He wasn't able to self-recover. So all right, well, we got it all set up and the tools are in. I did not really film much because you can only watch setting up tools in a shop space for so long before it gets really old. The other thing I did in here is I tried to not make anything permanent. The only thing that's a fixture in this that's pretty much permanent is that electrical panel. I don't want anything permanent because I don't exactly know how this is going to work yet. My other shop was a 2-car garage, which is much wider, and this is a lot narrower, so I just wanted to make sure before I started welding things to the walls that the way it's set up is going to work. I got my flagpole installed. That was one of the first things I did.
What do you think? Are you satisfied? You got your own place now? You got your place to work? You don't work on anything. You just guard the place and hang out, right?
All right, that looks pretty good. So I will pour concrete on top of that. It'll be a footer. We'll build it up to pretty much ground level because I don't really want it much higher than that. Fill in around it, tamp it all down, and slide the container over. All right, I've decided to dig down to the clay layer. That's this extremely hard green stuff. I mean, you can't get through that, like, so I'll pour on top of that, and I think that'll be more than sufficient to hold up anything that I put on top of this container. All right, all 4 holes are dug. And this one is considerably deeper than this one, but what I talked to a couple people, and I am on bedrock right there. I actually dug through it. It's a really hard, or it's like a soft rock or a hard clay, whatever you want, whatever makes you feel better. And I am down to the surface of that. Over in this hole, I'm about 10 inches into that. I'm confident about pouring footers here. Got everything here I need to build form, so let's get started with that. All right, I threw one together real quick so you can kind of see what the idea here is. So these are just concrete forms for the footers. Set these in the holes, get them nice and leveled, pour concrete inside of them. And all the forms are built now, so we can set them in and start the process of pouring concrete. Okay, I got the first form more or less installed. I just kind of figuring this out as I go along, so I'm sure there's a right or better way to do this, but this is just what's popping into my brain. So the string line is level. and then that form is level and at the right height. So I still have to add some kind of board around the side so it doesn't just fill up that hole, because that would be kind of a waste of concrete. So I'm going to add the sides to this form and then basically fill around the form and pour concrete down the hole, because I've hit bedrock down there. So that's what I'm going to set the concrete on basically. So I found this old fence just laying around, so I will use this to add some support to the concrete forms. Pretty much something like that, man. I don't even know if that shows up on camera. So it's just a square, and then I'll cut it down to the size, set it in the middle, and that should be fine. Here it is sitting in place. I'll cut this off to the right height. That looks good. This one's in place, so that worked out good. I cut them not quite in half, and then I had enough for both. We can now pour concrete in these. Alright, that's working good. So now, like, I got concrete like setting up here, and I gotta change the motor on this thing. Like, I know the thing hasn't been used in like 6 years. Why does it just break for no reason? All right, let's get this changed. to start pouring in with it running. That's probably a lot more of a slump than you'd really ever want it, but I'm not in a time constraint for this to dry, and I want it to flow all over in that form as nice as I can. Look at that. Perfect. All right, there's a little bit of concrete left, so I'll go dump that in the other hole. We're gonna go for a ride, buddy. I'm gonna go for a ride. I'm gonna go for a truck ride. Get up in there. Good boy. Cool. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. All right, now I should be able to spin that and it'll dump right in there. Good. The concrete that kind of went off the edge of the form, that'll chip away once it dries. I got concrete in here though, so I got to set this other form up next so I can kind of spin this around and start pouring this one. So I'm going to get this all set up and then I will start filming again. So what I'm doing here is I have to square where the footers go, because there's 4 footers, so they have to be square obviously because the container's square. So I'm using the 3, 4, 5 method. So you measure off that corner 3 feet this way, and from that corner 4 feet that way, and then the distance between here and here should be 5 feet. We're a little bit off of that, so I need to bring that post that way, and then this will be square. And I'll also check that by pulling a diagonal measurement from this corner to that corner, which there's a calculator online that you can put in the dimensions of your box, and it will tell you what that dimension is supposed to be when it's square. All right, so now this corner square. Now I can pull a measurement from this corner to that corner. I think it's like 40'9" or something. Okay, I have all of my string lines set up. I have measured diagonally. I have done the 3, 4, 5 on each end. I'm getting 41'4" and 41'4" across on both corners. Well, I am ready to go, I think. I checked everything no more than one time, so there's a 50% chance that I've done it wrong, and it's crude, but hopefully it works. So let's get to pouring concrete. You know what I forgot to do is put some rebar in this, so I'm going to start mixing this next one and then get some wire for that. All right, I'm set up here the next morning, ready to pour this last form, so let's get right to it. All right, that pour is pretty much finished up, so I'm gonna get everything around here cleaned up, and then I'll start filming again. All right, so I've wanted a pet squirrel for a while, but you can't just go buy one, and I wouldn't want to take one out of the wild because that's their home. So I'm gonna see if I can bribe one to come hang out with me. All right, that's cool. Any squirrel should be able to get to that, and maybe it'll help them with their winter storage. All right, so my plan here is to pick this end up with the dozer and then like chain the blade to the container, pick the blade up, and then try to push it over on top of the 2 footings. I have no idea if it's gonna work, but let's give it a try. This is probably the 5th time this stupid thing has popped apart. This is the stupidest design ever. How many times have I got to fix that before it stops breaking? It's a return line. All right, I'm gonna fix it. Okay, well, it's on there. Probably could have gone a little smoother, I guess. But I don't know, I think it went all right. And this could probably go back that way just a touch. Let's see. The inside is. Ooh. Ew. Yeah. All right. It's not super clear. That shelf fell over. Which, you know what, that's not that bad. There was just, you know, I mean, there was some stuff on there, but nothing that won't clean right up. And I tipped the torch tanks over so they wouldn't fall over and, you know, possibly break. So I did that ahead of time. All right, that's good. What do you think, buddy? What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on all that? It seemed like a good idea. Seems like a good idea at the time, huh? I think it went all right. And you know, I'll have to check level on a couple things, but the forms seem to come out square and level. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I don't know what I'm doing here.
Ooh. Speak. That's not speaking. Speak. That's not speaking.
Ooh.
Speak.
Oh.
Speak. 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 Good job. Hey, it didn't quite go that far. Right there. Hey. No. There it is. Good job. You're gonna chew it into thirds. All right. Break's over.